it's Friday the 10th of June and welcome to our weekly news headlines from the Christian Institute. Baroness Cox has proposed a new bill in Parliament to tackle the problem of Sharia courts in England and Wales. The bill seeks to stop Sharia law taking root as a parallel legal system. It creates a new crime of falsely claiming legal jurisdiction over criminal or family law. The bill also deals with the concern that Muslim women are suffering discrimination within Sharia law councils. It is being backed by women's rights groups, the National Secular Society and Christian organisations including the Christian Institute. Lady Cox unveiled the details of the bill and the problems it is seeking to address at a press conference on Wednesday.
In Britain, we have a country where many people have died to protect the democratic freedoms enshrined in our laws and in our culture. And we now have allowed an alternative, quasi-legal system to develop in our land, which is fundamentally incompatible with those democratic freedoms. Well, this bill is designed to address situations in this country where those fundamental values are being undermined and where many citizens, especially women, are suffering as a result.
Parents need more help as they attempt to combat child sexualisation. That's the finding of a long-awaited report which has been welcomed by David Cameron. The report is called Letting Children Be Children. It recommends making it easier for parents to complain about adverts, products or TV shows, tackling sexualised imagery in outdoor places where children are likely to see them, putting age restrictions on music videos and giving parents greater influence over what is suitable for TV viewing before the 9 p.m. watershed. Reg Bailey, Chief Executive of the Mothers Union, led the review.
One of the things that became very clear was that actually we all live in a very sexualised environment. I don't know why that's happened, but it just simply has. And it affects all of us, whether we're adults or children. And the point is, we barely notice it anymore. It's almost become like the wallpaper of our lives. But it is a slow drift, if you like, into a much more sexualised environment.
The Church of Scotland looks set to lose its first congregation following its decision to permit openly homosexual clergy last month. Reverend Dominic Smart, minister of Gilcomston South Church in Aberdeen, has accused the Kirk's governing body of marginalising the Bible by approving the practice of same-sex relationships for ordained ministers. Reverend Smart said, "It is therefore with great sadness that we feel we can no longer be part of the Church of Scotland. Our decision is not a knee-jerk reaction. It is the culmination of careful study, sincere discussion and prayer over the past 2.5 years." Before the breakaway goes ahead, the majority of the congregation, which owns Gilcomston South Church, needs to back the proposal. A vote will be taken later this year. Actor Hugh Grant has said that assisted suicide campaigner Dr Ann McPherson, who died last week, was right to push for a change in the law. The film star is patron of healthtalkonline.org, a website and charity founded by Dr McPherson. Mr Grant told The Independent, "A person who is compos mentis should be allowed to die, rather than be kept alive and in pain, and without having to go off to Switzerland." But a recent survey by a leading disability charity, Scope, revealed that 70% of those with a disability are concerned at legalising assisted suicide. Richard Hawkes, Chief Executive of Scope, said, "Disabled people are already worried about people assuming their life isn't worth living or seeing them as a burden, and are genuinely concerned that a change in the law could increase pressure on them to end their life." And a controversial assisted suicide storyline on TV soap Emmerdale has caused outrage amongst viewers as well as a spinal injuries charity. The harrowing episode showed paralysed Jackson Walsh being fed lethal drugs to help him die. It provoked a backlash on Twitter and Facebook after it was aired 2 hours before the watershed. One viewer commented, "You shouldn't have done that at this time of the day. Kids are watching." Aspire, a charity which supports victims of spinal injuries, has commented that the story has been negative, unrealistic and inaccurate, and says sufferers do not need to spend all their time in bed being spoon-fed soup. Spokesman Alex Rankin said, "What worries me is that it's basically saying that life with a spinal injury is not worth living." Police may soon have a new tool in the fight against people who drive while under the influence of drugs. A new testing device can detect cocaine, ecstasy and cannabis by analysing saliva taken from a mouth swab of a suspect. It is expected to be approved by the Home Office by the end of June and could be in use in police stations by the end of this year. Roadside use of the machines by police patrols are also planned to follow. Motoring organisations have welcomed the news, and the Road Safety Minister Mike Penning said, "Drug drivers put the lives of responsible motorists at risk, and we are determined to ensure the police have everything they need to tackle this menace." Television executives in America from shows such as Friends and House have admitted that they have been using their influence to promote a liberal agenda for years. In a new book, Primetime Propaganda, author Ben Shapiro reveals interviews with dozens of leading Hollywood executives who openly declare that they have used high-profile shows to shape America. Mr. Shapiro said, "Television has been perhaps the most impressive weapon in pushing liberal issues." At the end of last year, Coronation Street's producer Phil Collinson admitted using the popular soap as a platform for pushing homosexual issues, claiming it made a real difference to the way people think. Well, that's all for this week. For more information and regular updates on all of our stories, plus much more, visit our website at christian.org.uk. Until next time, goodbye.